Hey everyone, welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Annie. I'm a registered dietitian and I mainly work with clients struggling with underlying autoimmune condition symptoms. So things that include pain, digestive issues, fatigue, and just to reduce quality of life. So when I work with my clients, I help them implement a personalized nutrition roadmap designed to help them feel better, get their energy back, and have the quality of life that they deserve to have. So this video was recorded in March, and March is Autoimmune Disease Awareness Month. And so every week this month, I am highlighting a different autoimmune disease and talking about what it is, how it's diagnosed, what the symptoms are, and then what you can do in terms of diet and lifestyle to help relieve some of those symptoms. This week, we are talking about Hashimoto's. So Hashimoto's disease, or Hashimoto's thyroiditis, is an autoimmune disease that affects the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is located in your neck, and it is one of the most important glands for hormone production. Your thyroid hormones are responsible for regulating your metabolism, for controlling your heart. They help your digestion, your brain, and also bone maintenance. So when you have Hashimoto's, your thyroid peroxidase antibodies, or TPO, start attacking your thyroid tissue. The attack triggers inflammation in this gland, so it's not able to produce your thyroid hormones as efficiently as it should be doing. So Hashimoto's is the most common thyroid disorder in the US, affects approximately 14 million people, which is about 5% of Americans actually have it, and women are more likely to develop Hashimoto's than men. It usually pops up between the ages of 40 to 60, but anyone at any age can develop it. So because autoimmune diseases take a long time to develop, many of the early signs and symptoms of Hashimoto's are not noticeable. Eventually, when the thyroid hormone levels get too low, people may experience some of the following. Weight gain is a big one. I see a lot of my clients struggling with weight gain, especially when their metabolism gets very slow from lack of thyroid hormones. Fatigue is another big one. Constipation, increased sensitivity to cold, dry skin, depression, muscle aches, reduced exercise tolerance, irregular or heavy menses, and then some people even have an enlarged thyroid gland or a goiter. So Hashimoto's can take a long time to diagnose too, especially if medical practitioners are not looking at the full thyroid panel. Most doctors only look at your TSH, which is also called your thyroid stimulating hormone. TSH is made by your pituitary gland, and it determines how much of your thyroid hormone, which is broken down into T3 and T4, how much the thyroid should make of that. A high TSH means that your thyroid is not making enough thyroid hormones. Sometimes TSH is not enough to diagnose a person with Hashimoto's. Measuring your T3, your T4, and something called your reverse T3 can give a better picture of your hormone levels and what's going on with your thyroid. In addition, checking your TPO will help tell you if you have antibodies and therefore if your thyroid condition is an autoimmune condition. Elevated TPO points to Hashimoto's. So what is a treatment? So conventional treatment for Hashimoto's includes medication to replace the thyroid hormone that your body is not producing. It's a synthetic hormone that will help restore the normal function of your thyroid. Alternatively, there are supplements that provide a more natural replacement. This is not suitable for everyone, so make sure you speak to your healthcare professional about using supplements versus medication. In terms of diet and lifestyle, there are some key nutrients that are important for thyroid health. The number one thing I tell people to do is get screened for celiac disease and then remove gluten from your diet. You never want to take out gluten without double checking that you have celiac disease, because celiac disease is hereditary. So if you have children, you do want to make sure that you have that knowledge before you remove gluten. To do any sort of reliable celiac disease test, you need to be eating gluten. So the reason why I tell people to remove gluten is because the gluten molecule looks very similar to your thyroid tissue molecule. So sometimes it can trigger what we call molecular mimicry. So what happens with that is that your body sees the gluten molecule and mistakes it for the thyroid molecule and attacks it. And then that just triggers an inflammatory reaction and more damage to your thyroid. The second major thing that I tell people is to remove processed foods, sugars, fried foods, things with artificial colors, things with artificial flavors, anything that's highly processed. These foods can trigger inflammation in the body, and we need to do our best to remove all inflammation from our bodies to let our thyroid heal. So in terms of lifestyle, there are a couple of things you can do. The number one thing that I always tell people is really try to reduce your stress, or get in the habit of manage your stress a little bit better. Stress is a huge trigger for a lot of people. Exercise tolerance is also common. So kind of the reaction when people start to gain weight is to exercise more. And what happens is that you're putting too much stress on your body, and then your body won't be able to recover from your workouts. So if you're finding that you're working out and you're experiencing prolonged muscle soreness, you feel sick afterwards, almost some people get nauseous and vomit after they work out, or you just are super fatigued and you can't recover, it's a sign that you have exercise intolerance. Cutting back on intense exercise will help reduce stress in the body and allow the hormones to get back in sync. I also have a couple of great blog articles on my website about exercise intolerance if you're interested in learning more about that. So in terms of vitamins and minerals, there are some things you want to focus on when you have Hashimoto's. The first one is iron. So iron is needed for your thyroid hormone production. And anemia, or having a low iron status, is actually pretty common in this population. So make sure that you are keeping up on your iron. The best place to get iron is in red meat or liver. If you do not eat red meat or liver, be sure that you are supplementing with an iron supplement. The second one is selenium. Selenium is the main mineral in your thyroid gland. Most people with Hashimoto's are deficient in selenium, and it's really easy to get from food. I tell people eat 2 or 3 Brazil nuts a day, and that will help you hit your required daily amount of selenium. Zinc is another one. It's a powerful antioxidant that helps to reduce inflammation. Most animal-based foods contain zinc, so it's pretty easy to get through food. Magnesium is the last one. Magnesium helps your thyroid get iodine from your body to make thyroid hormones. Iodine is also an important part of your thyroid hormone. I'll talk about that in a second. But magnesium kind of helps that process. So eating lots of leafy green vegetables or supplementation, which I usually recommend people do because most of us are deficient in magnesium, that is the best place to get magnesium. I did not put iodine on this list because iodine is very personal. Some people, really do benefit from taking iodine supplementation or making sure that they're using salt with iodine in it. For other people, iodine is really detrimental. So do speak with your medical professional about kind of your iodine and what you should be taking, because again, it depends on the person. So just to recap, today we focused on Hashimoto's thyroiditis, or Hashimoto's disease, what it is, how it's diagnosed, what the medication and the treatment plan looks like, and then what you can do in terms of diet and lifestyle. If you need more help managing your Hashimoto's or any other autoimmune disease, I would love to help you. I set up free discovery calls for people to learn more about what their struggles are and to see if I'm a good fit for them. So you can go to my website and sign up for a free discovery call. I also put a lot of great information out on my Instagram and Facebook pages, which are linked below this video, so check that out. And then if you liked the video and you liked what you saw, please hit the little subscribe button. I put these out about every week. Something's always related to autoimmune disease, nutrition, lifestyle, how to reduce inflammation. So it's there for your education and for your knowledge, so you can live the life that you should be living. So thank you so much for joining me today. And again, I forgot to attach my disclaimer to this video, but the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. So with any changes to your medical care, please make sure that you contact your qualified health professional. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.